is up, RC enthusiasts? David from Run.RC here, and today I've got my new B24zh. I'm gonna go ahead and do my waterproofing to this guy. So it's gonna be pretty much what my video is gonna be about today. It's gonna be waterproofing the RTR electronics to get this thing to hopefully be able to do what I do with my other videos. So yeah, stay tuned for that. I'll go ahead and get this sucker apart, and I'll be right back. Well, there you guys go. That is what it looks like inside once you open it. You see the ESC board right there is screwed in. So one screw right over here. So you're just gonna unscrew that, take the board off. Be careful, all these wires are tiny and delicate, so you don't want to be yanking on stuff and, you know, ruining wires and whatnot. So yeah, I'll go ahead and unscrew this real quick. I'm gonna unplug all this stuff that's on the board. Just remember which one goes where. Alright, so here's your board. You got the plugs in there that you're gonna have to unplug. I'm gonna show you, or tell you which one's which. The first one right here on the top. Now this is gonna be where the screw hole was at, where it was screwed onto the truck. So counting down from this top right here, this is gonna be your plug to your power switch. The second one is gonna be the plug for your battery, so that's where your battery lead is going to plug into. The third one is going to be your motor plug, and then the fourth one down here, the very last one, that one's going to be your lights. Yep. So once you unplug that, you'll know how to put that back together. And then you got this one right here, which is your servo lead. Only the servo can plug into that, so it shouldn't be too hard to figure that one out. So yeah, now we have this board right here. Now I'm going to have to remove the servo cover. And I would need to disconnect that from the steering linkages down here. So let me just disconnect it from the servo horn. Yeah, I can pull the servo out. And there's my WPL servo. Now I gotta pull this sticker off of it so I can plastic dip underneath that. Yeah, so there's that. As you can tell over here, I've already installed my 180 motor. Couldn't deal with that 130, it just was not working for me at all. So yes, 180 it is for me, and this is the gearbox it came with. It does have the new gears in there, so it's a better reduction for gear set. Still got the plastic drive shafts. I don't plan to change that right now. Only modification I'm going to do really for this truck for now is just this 180 motor. Waterproof all of its electronics. So yeah, you guys know I use Plasti Dip for my waterproofing. So I just get an empty cap and I just spray some Plasti Dip in the cap, like so. And then I let it sit for a while, because this Plasti Dip, when you first spray it out, it likes to form bubbles and stuff. Pretty sure you can't see that in there. And I get my servo. You're gonna want to wipe this down with some alcohol and wipe it down dry, because there is some oil on here and we don't want the Plasti Dip to start peeling off prematurely. Here's my cleaned servo. And this is how I apply Plasti Dip on it. I just get a little bit of Plasti Dip. And I like to start with the servo lead right here, since the Plasti Dip is still very, very soft and still liquidy. I like to start with parts where it can seep into, so that way it seeps into wherever it needs to seep into. So yeah, just do that, get that liquid stuff all around. Because right now it's in liquid form, so it's just going to be just like water. It's going to try to get into every single nook and cranny in there. So that's how I do it first. When that dries, you're going to possibly end up needing to add more onto it because it might separate in some sections and stuff. So this kind of stuff I deal with Plasti Dip. It's not too bad. Just as long as you're meticulous about it and you make sure you grab every single part that has a crease, every section of this servo that opens up. So even the little screws in the back, you're going to get the little screws in the back and you're going to cover them in Plasti Dip. So no water can seep through those either. So anywhere you see a crease, anywhere you see an opening, you're going to Plasti Dip over. Another reason I do it this way and I use Plasti Dip is because it is very easy to remove afterwards, just in case I need to get in there. And to tell you the truth, I've been waterproofing servos for years like this, even other methods, marine grease, the whole inside. I've even done the whole RTV sealer for car gaskets and stuff like that, but I like the Plasti Dip because it does a pretty good job. And also when you do get water in there, because water finds its way into things all the time, no matter what you do, it will find its way inside the servo. And most of the time you get lucky and you notice it glitching. To unplug the servo, take the Plasti Dip off of it, unscrew the screws in the back, and then pick it apart. You should see water in there. If you do, just let it dry out. Blow it all out of there, let it dry, sit for a bit. And once you put it back all together, most of the time you'll get lucky and this servo will still work for you. So yeah, that's why I like using Plasti Dip. It makes maintenance easier because you will have to get in here. You use any of the other stuff, there is a better chance of it being more waterproof, but at the same time, if water does get in there, it's gonna be hell to pay once you gotta take this thing apart. Little tip I didn't show, you see on the servo horn right there, you can go ahead and put the very, very fresh liquidy Plasti Dip around it to seep in there, so hopefully you get it all waterproof. But I usually just open it up and I put some marine grease in there and stuff it in there, so when I shut it down, it's flowing out of this hole before I put the servo horn back on it. That usually keeps water from getting in there. Not 100%, but it does work. So now, we'll go to the receiver. So the receiver board doesn't look like anything really is at the top. Everything seems to be down here, so yeah, I'm gonna coat that with some Plasti Dip. And you just get your Plasti Dip and just start coating it. You don't want to make a thick coat on here, you just want it thin and fully covered. Because if you make it too thick, then you're gonna make it hard for this ESC receiver combo to disperse heat. Get rid of heat and stuff. So yeah, this is all I do, just coating everything with Plasti Dip. Just using a screwdriver here, a little tiny screwdriver that most of these kits, well not these kits, but a lot of RTR stuff comes with one of these. Also, you want the Plasti Dip to be very, very fresh and liquidy, like you just spray it out of the can, because that way it'll seep its way into everything. Well, there it is, fully covered in Plasti Dip. You can see. So yeah, let that dry, and then you're gonna put another coat on there just for safety. You don't want to put thick coats, just 2 thin coats. That should be good. You want to let these electronics wick their heat or disperse their heat properly. So yeah, there you go. And also, if you're gonna use Plasti Dip as your waterproofing style, I also recommend when you install these parts that you don't go in there too much and move them around and stuff after install. Just leave them in there and they'll be waterproof good. But if you do take your truck apart consistently and just like to take it apart and move your electronics around to other trucks and stuff, whenever you move this, just inspect it and make sure it didn't peel in any sides, or just take a good inspection of it, make sure it still looks sealed, so that way you don't ruin it. Alright, that's how that looks like on that side. I gotta let that side dry and then go to the back side and completely coat that too. And I also coat the sides right here just to get as much Plasti Dip coating as possible on this. That's how you waterproof the RTR electronics that are in this kit right here, or this RTR rig. You watch me take it off, you just do the reverse to put them all back in there, and hopefully you'll be good to go and waterproof. Now if you are running this 180 brush motors, they really don't have any way for debris to get in there that much. The holes are pretty covered, so it should be fine. If you are using the 2-speed, I do recommend covering those, because there's a lot of holes in those motors. And I also do recommend putting marine grease in the gearbox just to help it lube better and stuff a lot in there, so it flings around the gears and seals from the inside, it seals itself, and hopefully help you to keep debris out of there too. And I've been lucky with those lately. And I was watching a YouTube video last night from Hobby Daddy, and I saw his tire softening trick. Yeah, it's pretty much all he talks about on this video is just grabbing these stock RTR tires. So you can see I could even fully push it down right here, and it won't even collapse the bottom part. Kit tire right here. Take it off the rim. Look at that thing. It's just no comparison. That's the same pressure. See? So it does work. You know, this tire right here does feel a lot softer now. So I know that trick does work. Get it a little softer than this. I don't think you need to. So if you have RTR tires and you just want them to get softer, you know, you just go ahead and let me zoom you in here. You know, just grab this and twist like so. You know, just move it around, go around the circumference of the rim every couple of inches. Just keep on doing this for maybe 2 minutes, and then after that you do you know, pull them. You could actually see the rubber turn like a white color when you do this, so that's how you know you're doing it right. You're putting some flex into this rubber, and yeah. So that's a pretty good mod, or trick, you know. I like it. I'm gonna do it to all four. It's gonna hurt. It does hurt, he's not lying. And if it doesn't hurt, you're not doing it right. You'll see it stress out, and you'll get the results you're looking for. And the tires will be soft. Well, there you go, guys. Make your RTR more waterproof so you can play around in the water and have some more fun, because who doesn't like to play around in mud and water? I know I do. When you do this stuff, you usually be alright. So, yeah, that's about it for me. Hopefully you guys got some information out of this video, or at least liked it, you know, liked watching it. Well, you guys go ahead and comment down below, like this video, and don't forget to subscribe. Now go run that RC.